So I've only just really got here, and I was walking up the path and saw an owl. I've been here about 5 minutes, so I've just come out to a little bit of a clearing here to try and find it. But I have noticed, if you can see behind me, there is a barn owl box. So my guess is barn owl. I didn't see it, it was in silhouette. So judging that that box is there, I'm gonna guess that it's a barn owl, and I'm also not gonna stick around. The last thing I want to do is disturb a potential nesting site, even if it's just a winter roost. It's getting light now, so the barn owl will want to be coming in to roost for the day. So yeah, I'm going to get out of its way. But a good start. Usually, if I see something out of the ordinary early on, usually means it's going to be a pretty decent day. So let's see what's in store.
I've come back to Sherwood Forest, a place I've wandered through many times over the past few months, either on my own or with my family. Even when I wasn't uploading, this forest stayed with me, a quiet constant in the background of busy days. There's something about early spring here, the way the forest seems to breathe differently. Somewhere deeper in the trees you'll hear that fast, hollow tapping echoing through the forest. A woodpecker working a dead trunk, reminding you the season is waking up one sound at a time. After a long break, this felt like the right place to start again. No big plans, no pressure, just a slow walk through a familiar landscape, seeing what the morning wants to offer. So today, I thought I'd bring you along with me. Let's take things steady and ease our way back into the forest. But before I explain why I've come back today, let's head a little deeper in. This place always does a better job at setting up stories.
Well, good morning. So as I've already said, I've come to Sherwood Forest today, and specifically up on the Budby Common, Budby Heath, in the search of woodlark. I've just set up here, and I can hear one singing just behind the camera, which is a nice treat. So hopefully I'm gonna sit down, have a cup of tea here, and hopefully get some images of woodlark. I'm going for backlit so I can get the rim lighting, and hopefully I can get some tree pipits coming through as well, and some stone chat. Yeah, it's good to be back out. So a little while ago, I came across what looked to be a sparrowhawk kill site. A bunch of feathers on the ground, definitely wood pigeon. Something to look out for. Don't think it'll come out into this open bit here. It is a little bit too open, but I had a nice walk through the birch woodland just on the way to where I am now. So it's nice to see that I can sort of nail down a position. I've been through the actual forest of Sherwood, and I've never really been successful at seeing them, let alone photographing them. A very, very elusive bird for me, as I'm sure they are for many more people. But yeah, it's an opportunity. There's things like that you always have to keep an eye out for. Now, I don't want to get too excited, but because it is a Sunday, so it will be a lot busier than a normal weekday. I can hear barking in the distance. Could well be a dog. Sounds very, very much like a buck roe deer. I have seen a roe deer already this morning. Just as the sun was coming up over the horizon, actually, I got quite a nice shot. Nothing on the camera. It was more of a panning shot, a little bit of B-roll. But hopefully, if that comes through, if that makes its way through, if it is indeed a roe, I might get a good chance at getting some photos of it if I stay hunkered down here. So yeah, it's already proving to be quite a good spot potentially to sit down for a while. So yeah, I'll get this cup of tea on and talk to you guys in a bit.
This forest has a way of slowing you down, even on the days when life feels full. Work, family, the usual chaos. Walking amongst these ancient oaks feels like taking a breath you didn't realise you needed. Out on Budby Heath, the soundscape shifts again. A green woodpecker laughing across the open ground, a great spotted rattling away in the distance. A song thrush filling the still morning air with its deceptive melody. I'm not chasing anything today, just walking, listening, and letting the forest set the pace.
So I finally sat down in what I think is a pretty good area. Just behind you guys there's a row of gorse bush that's in bloom, and I believe there's linnets trying to build a nest within the middle of the bush. I've got some photos backlit like I wanted of the birds bringing nesting material back and then ducking down into the gorse bush. So hopefully I can get some interesting shots here.
It's funny, you can visit a place a dozen times and still feel like you've only scratched the surface. Budby especially. Every visit feels like opening a new page in a book you thought you already knew.
I'm sat back quite a bit just so I don't disturb them. The last thing I want to do is disturb a bird that's trying to build a nest, because it could have found somewhere really secure. You will tend to pick up on when you're maybe a little bit too close. It might not always be on purpose. You might have just sat down somewhere that you think's nice, but if a bird is sort of hanging around you or keeping an eye on you and constantly calling, it tends to be a dead giveaway that it's an active nest at least. It's a little bit harder when they're building and they will just tend to abandon it. So you do have to be a bit mindful, but it's really important that you try to disturb them as little as possible. So I've come now into the forest itself. I'm hoping you're picking this up because I'm talking very quietly. I think there's a mouse just to my left. But yeah, I'm talking very, very quietly. I've set up with the camera poncho on a tree that I know that the great spotted woodpecker frequents and sounds fantastic on. It's just done a circuit. And I saw it on the tree as I was coming down here. It's just in the middle of a circuit. It's just landed behind me, gave a little quick drum, and then flown off. So hopefully it shouldn't be too long before it's back on the tree where I saw it. I've seen it numerous times. So yeah, hopefully, if I keep quiet, if I keep secluded, there's no foot traffic here. I'm well off the beaten path. get some woodpecker footage. And the way it's looking, I'm going to go for like a high key shot. So yeah, let's hope. So part of this channel is going to be about how to maximise your time in nature, whether that's bird watching or photography or just going for a walk. And being a dad, being a family man, I enjoy the time I spend with my family. But it's also important to do the things you love. Luckily, I have an amazing wife who also enjoys going out birding. My 2-year-old son, on the other hand, loves his animals, but can you get him to walk the way that you want to? Or when there's an interesting bird sat on a perch, can you get him to wait? No. He did really enjoy the giant river otters yesterday at the zoo. So the spark is there, but the patience is going to take some time. So yeah, maximising your time out. I'm now sat down here. Might look like I'm just waiting on one thing, waiting on that woodpecker to land on that one branch. Quite frankly, I don't have time for that. So I try and pick my places where I sit down strategically so that there's other interests about as well. The oak tree that I showed you just a minute ago, there's at least one woodpecker nest hole, and just down that way I can see another one. So I have 2 potential spots that if I come a little bit later in the year, sort of end of April, May, and if I come and sit in this very spot, there's a good chance that I'll also get woodpeckers in one of these trees, as well as an abundance of other little birds. I've seen wren, tree creeper, nuthatch, blue tit, chaffinch, great tit, robin, just from sat here. So it's not just about I've come for one bird, I'm going to leave. I don't have the time for that. I'm also looking for my next photography outing. Even when I go out with my family, I'm constantly looking for potential in an area as a wren interrupts me, so that I can come back to it later when I have got that rare time. There is a vole just behind you guys. Wow. I don't think I'm going to be able to get any footage of this. But let's try. I knew I could hear something mammalian in the bushes. Never expected it to show itself. So that proves my point further. Now there's a possibility of sitting in this very spot, not only getting woodpecker chicks hanging out of the nest hole, but also what looks to be field vole. I'm going to try my best to get a little bit of footage, but I am doing it on the back of a phone, so bear with.
So that's today. Nothing complicated, nothing rushed. Just a gentle return to the forest. A chance to reconnect with the places that keep me grounded. And whether the woodpeckers showed themselves or not, it's enough just to be out here again. Thanks for coming along with me. I hope you enjoyed this little